Yes, everyone, how are we doing? And welcome to the match preview for Brighton and Hove Albion versus Manchester City. I don't know why I've just full named them, but it is what it is. This is how we've kicked off the video. Brighton versus Man City, Sunday, 2 p.m. away at the Amex Stadium. And look, it's as simple as this. Manchester City need to win this game of football. We need to respond. We need to react from that Tottenham Hotspur game, that 2-0 loss at the Etihad. The shock defeat for a lot of us City fans, but yeah, we need a response. We need a reaction. We need a win. It's as simple as that. Look, it does feel like a little bit of a while ago that we played that Tottenham game. I know it was less than a week ago, only Saturday, wasn't it? And I'm filming this on the Thursday night because I'm about to go out soon to the pub and I won't be feeling right on Friday morning to film this for you. So look, I'm being prepared here. So it doesn't feel, realistically, it isn't that long ago, but it feels like a fair while ago. I don't know if that's just because the transfer window's open and, of course, back end of the transfer window as well, the final week. So there's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to City. We now know that Savinho is staying at the club. The Rodrigo dream or Rodrigo transfer saga, whatever you want to call it, that is long gone. It's off. It's over. If you want to find out more about that or more about my opinion on that, I posted a video as soon as I found out the news on Wednesday. So go and give that a watch if you've not already. There's that. What else has there been? The Champions League draws just happened. I'll touch on that a little bit towards the end. What else? Oldham versus Man City. I went to watch City's under-21s play against Oldham away. Again, I did a match day vlog for that. Go and give that a watch if you're not already. I will do more in this video than plug other videos, I promise you. But there's been a fair bit that's happened, hasn't there? And yeah, look, I feel positive again. After the Spurs game, I had all the energy and all the excitement and everything sucked out of me. I don't think I was too bad in my match reaction. I tried staying positive and staying calm. And look, it's very early into the season. 2 games it was into the season. I'm not going to start crashing out after 2 games, am I? But it did take away a little bit of my optimism. But it's nearly been a week. There's been other football since then. The fuel and the fire and the excitement and the optimism and everything positive about Manchester City is straight back into my bones, and I am feeling like we can take on the world all over again. And it starts on Sunday, like I said, against Brighton. Now look, first of all, we'll talk about our opponent coming up. Okay, Brighton, a good side, a very good side to be fair to them. In this fixture last year, they beat us 2-1. I get the feeling like I'm going to be saying that a lot this season. In this fixture last year, we lost. I know, we lost a lot of games, but yeah, this game last year, we lost 2-1. We were actually 1-0 up as well, but ended up losing towards the back end of the game, 2-1. And yeah, it wasn't great, but again, it was another one of them games that was during that very poor period, November-December period for Manchester City. You look at them last season, Brighton just missed out on European football. A good side, a good young manager, a good young team, some good players. They're a good side. But City are a better side and we need a win. Look, to be fair, Brighton, I don't think they've started the season too well. I mean, when you look at the table, they've not started the season too well. They've got 1 point from a possible 6. They drew with Fulham on the opening game and they lost to Everton in their second game. Now, the weird thing is that, to be fair, I think they were the better side in both games. Definitely that Everton game, but it's how football is sometimes, isn't it? They've picked up 1 point from a possible 6. So to be fair, they'll be hungry for points. They'll need points on the board if they want to compete for Europe this season. So they'll be hungry for it. But I just feel like if City are anywhere near the best we can be, then I'm not going to say we should make light work of it, but we should win this game reasonably comfortably if City play to the best of our abilities. If all our best players are playing at their best, we should be fine. But of course, we know that's not always the case. City, we could have a few problems. We could have a few mistakes or a few slip-ups or whatever could happen. Football's a weird game. But yeah, I do feel like this is quite an important game for City. It's our last game before the international break. Out of our next upcoming games, out of our next 3, I mean, what I was about to say was a complete lie. I was going to say it should be our easiest, but the one after this is Manchester United. And look, let's take a minute out of this to all laugh at Manchester United. Grimsby Town. Oh, what a game of football that was. I had a ball watching that, but yeah, that was a great game of football. The Carabao Cup, the gift that keeps on giving. Manchester United, the gift that keeps on giving, more like. But yeah, I had a great time watching that. But we've got Brighton now. United does feel like a good few weeks away because of that international break. You want to go into that internationals feeling good, feeling positive, with 3 points. And I know it is very early into the season to be saying stuff that I've been saying, like, City have got to win. But it does just sort of feel that way. When you look at the other teams in the Premier League, you think of Arsenal, how good Arsenal are defensively. I think the best defence in the league. They're attacking Saka, they've brought in Gyökeres, they've brought in Eze. Liverpool, we all know how good Liverpool are. The reigning champions, of course. Some of the players they've got in their team, immense. You can even add Chelsea to the mix. Some of the players they've got, Cole Palmer. They've, of course, as always, brought in a fair few heads into the new team. They were brilliant against West Ham. So, look, and look, when I'm talking about them teams, I'm not trying to downplay Manchester City by any means. To be fair, I'm saying how good them teams are, and I still believe City are going to win the league. So, of course, I think City are right up there, with them. But the reason I'm saying that City feel like we need a win is because we can't be affording to drop points. We really can't. Like, I feel like this top four, it's been such a long time. I don't know how I'm trying to word this. I feel like it's been a very long time since the gap or the lack of a gap between the first best team in the league and the fourth best team in the league. It's so slim. It's not been like that for a little while. We've had a lot of 2-horse races or even occasional 3-horse race. But 4 teams that you could look at and go, they could definitely win the Premier League and it wouldn't be that much of a shock. There's 4 teams that could do that. So I feel like there's such a lack of a gap between the teams. And even as early as it is, if Arsenal drop points, Liverpool drop points, Chelsea drop points, we're looking at it and going, yes, come on, that's good stuff. So City, we need to be getting every point we can. We need to be racking it up and just keeping pressure on his teams. It's mad how early we're doing it. I feel like we say this kind of thing earlier and earlier every season. The season's starting and we're looking at the points already, but that's just the way it is. That's the way the Premier League is. It's how competitive the Premier League is at the minute. And of course, every team, they're going to drop points, and City, traditionally, we have a somewhat of a slower start to the season, but I feel like after the somewhat of a letdown that the Tottenham Hotspur game was, we need a big reaction. We need to show the fans, the players need to show themselves. We need to show the Premier League what we're capable of, what we're about. Because, of course, Wolves, we were excellent, we were brilliant, we were exceptional. But a lot of people were saying, oh, it's only Wolves, it's only Wolves. And we were like, yeah, wait till you see Spurs, wait till you see what we do to Tottenham. And then it just didn't happen, did it? So I think City needs to sort of make a statement win to the Premier League to show them, like, lad, we're not here to mess about. We're here to compete. We're here to win back our trophy. That Premier League trophy should have blue ribbons on it. And I'm talking about City blue, not Chelsea blue. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like City, it is a big game. Every game's a big game, I should say. But Brighton, last game before the international break, I want to be going into it feeling positive. International breaks drag at the best of times. They drag even more when you go into them off the back of a bad result. So City need a win. Simple as that. Now, as for any news on the Manchester City team coming into this game, look, there's still time for change. I'm sorry, is this dark? I'm going to have to keep going as it is anyway, but let me know in the comments if there's any issues with this. Even though it'll be too late and the video will be out. I feel like this side of my face is a little bit darker than the other. I don't know. Anyway, we'll crack on. As for the City team, there's still time for change. The Brighton game's on a Sunday, like I said. 31st of August, that is. On the Monday, that's when the transfer window closes. So, as things stand right now, as I said, this is Thursday night, about 7:30, 7:45. And I'll be posting this video Friday morning/afternoon. So, as of filming, as of recording, and I would imagine as of uploading, the Ederson and Donnarumma stuff, there's been no progress. It's been the same stagnant stuff that we've been dealing with for the past week and a half, or week, 2 weeks, or however long. So you'd expect Trafford to be in net again. Savino, like I said before, is now staying. It'd be interesting to see whether Pep mentions him and says, look, he is now available, because of course Pep, he wasn't been playing him, but it was unusual the way that he announced his injury. So is it going to be an injury, or is he actually injured? I don't know. We'll soon find out. You know, the press conference will be tomorrow morning. And as I have done for the previous weeks over on my TikTok, I'll make a video right after the press conference and discuss anything important that Pep Guardiola has said. What else is there? Ryan Aït-Nouri, of course, picked up an injury in a Tottenham game. He's A-OK. He's fine. The Algeria manager has put him in the national side for this international break, which isn't ideal really when you think about it, whether or not it's an injury or not. If it's a little knock, you know, it'd be ideal him not going, but he's one of the best players. It was always going to happen that way. He has said that he has spoken with the Manchester City doctors, and everything's in place and in plan for Aït-Nouri to be involved as part of the City Brighton game. Now, whether that means he's starting or he's just part of the match day squad, I don't know. But if he spoke with the City doctors or spoke with Aït-Nouri and he's fine, then that's positive news. There's no real issue as far as an injury, so that's good, because I felt like we need Aït-Nouri. We need a left back. We've missed a left back for however many years, and we finally got one. It'd been typical, especially when you look at his injury record. Ryan Aït-Nouri, He hasn't had an injury for about 4 years of football. How typical would it have been for him to turn up to Manchester City, his first game at the Etihad Stadium, and get injured for a few months? How typical would that have been? But it hasn't happened. He should be fine. I feel like there was a big difference in that Tottenham game when he left the pitch. It was 0-0 when he left the pitch, and their first goal was on that left-hand side. You know, it could have been a different game, but if buts and maybes, it is what it is. It's in the past. We move on. And other than that, of course, Kovacic still out injured. Rodri, can we talk about Rodri? Of course we can. He came off the bench in that Tottenham game towards the end, didn't look fit. I wouldn't start him yet, no way. I think Nico Gonzalez once again impressed in the Tottenham game. When it was a team full of players who didn't exactly perform to their best, I thought Nico, I wouldn't say it was his best game, but he was still semi-decent. I wouldn't be rushing Rodri back. I'd let him have this off, and then I'd hope that the Spain national side don't pick him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but I hope they don't pick him. And if they do, don't give him much football. Let's not rush him back. Let's take our time. Likewise with Phil Foden, of course. The England squad's going to be announced possibly around I'd imagine around the same time that this video will be being uploaded. And I'd like Phil Foden not to be picked, but I just can't see it happening. I can see him being picked, and when he needs rest and when he's spent a fair few bit of time now that out carrying a knock or carrying injuries and stuff like that. Let's just hope players don't go to international breaks and come back injured, because I can't be dealing with that. It's too soon into the season for these breaks as it is anyway, but it's just football nowadays. There's too much football in general. But yeah, Rodri back, Phil Foden back, Gvardiol back. Will I need a free start? We'll soon find out. But yeah, that's that as far as injuries. I think it's now time to get into my predicted lineup, and a lineup that I would start for this game. Now, as I said before, in goal it's going to be Trafford. Whether or not Donnarumma signs for City before the actual game, not before this video, that'd be very quick. But whether Donnarumma signs before the game, he wouldn't have even trained really, would he? It'd have been too soon. Ederson, again, this transfer saga with Galatasaray still seems to be on the cards. So while his head's half in Turkey, I wouldn't be playing him. I know Trafford did have a little bit of a mistake or two in the Tottenham game, but it's a fresh new game, fresh new start. Let's see how he manages in this one. Of course, still young, still a lack of experience at this level. He deserves many, many more chances. Not just another chance, many more chances. I trust him. I'm sure we'll be fine. As for the back four, I want to be seeing Kusanov start in this game. Look, Rico Lewis is a man that I've been defending a fair bit, just because of the amount of criticism that he's been receiving online. And look, he didn't have his best game against Tottenham, and that isn't even the reason why I wouldn't start him in this game. I have said on this channel so many times, and then everything social media, and even to my mates at the pub, I've said that for me, Rico Lewis, I like him as a footballer. Yes, he isn't a brilliant right back because he's not a right back. He's just not a right back. In certain games, it's fine. In Wolves' game, it's fine. In different games like a West Ham or, I don't know, maybe, the sort of lower sides who don't have a top winger that will be coming up against and having to defend against one-on-one, I think we're fine. He's brilliant on the ball, better on the ball than Kusanov, the way he drifts into midfield, the way he gets in further forward positions. I think it helps in games like these, or in games like them, Wolves and etc, etc. In a game like this, where chances are our right back will be defending Matoma, who is an excellent winger, Premier League proven, a quality winger, fast, tricky, great finisher, will cause us problems, regardless of whether it's Kusanov, Rico Lewis, or Prime Kyle Walker. Matoma's a great winger, and he would cause anyone problems, so in a game like this, the pace of Kusanov, the defense, how more defensively equipped he is as a right back than Rico Lewis, I'd rather Kusanov in this game. No discredit to Rico, it is just, I think, for this game, Kusanov, I would start a right back, and I think that will be a very popular opinion. There's a lot of fans crying out for Abkadir Kusanov to be starting this game, and I think Pep will. I think Pep will start him. Left back, if he's fit, Ryan Aït-Nouri, why not? If he is 100% fit, like apparently the doctors has said, start him. Centre-half partnership, John Stones and Ruben Diaz. You don't fix what isn't broke. They weren't, I'd say, but they don't fix what isn't broken. They were broken against Tottenham, weren't they? But I don't think either of them were exactly disastrous. I didn't think Diaz was exactly great, but unless he's going to be adding Gvardiol to the mix, Akanji still linked away, Nathan Ake, little links here and there. I'd stick with a partnership of John Stones and Ruben Diaz for now anyway. Moving into the midfield, I would be going with Nico Gonzalez. As I said before, I would not be rushing Rodri back by any means. Further forward, Tajani Reinders. Hopefully he has a game more similar to the Wolves game than the Tottenham game. That would be brilliant. And then I'd be going with, in the middle, Phil Foden. I feel like he looked more lively than Rodri. He looked a little bit fitter, a little bit sharper than Rodri when he came on in a Spurs game. I know he wasn't brilliant. He didn't make that much of an impact. Not many City players did. But I'm just talking about, chasing balls down or that quick half turn, the quick turn of pace, the positions, the runs. He looked fit. Phil Foden looked fit in that game. And I feel like now he's got a good record against Brighton as it is anyway. I would like to see him play. I think he will play. Will he start? I don't know. I would like to see him start. Whether it is in the middle or we might end up putting him out wide and put someone else in the middle, I don't know. For the sake of this team, I've put him in the middle. But wherever he plays, I'd like Phil Foden to start this game. As I said, I feel like he's scored a fair few goals against Brighton. There's a few already straight pinging to mind as it is. A few at the Amex as well. Now, as for the front three, I will be going with Oscar, Bob, Marmoush and Erling Haaland. That, of course, then means Ryan Cherky back on the bench for this game, which, to be fair, I was going to say it's harsh. Is it harsh? I thought he was pretty poor against Tottenham. Of course, he'll get a lot of football. We'll have a lot more football to play. You think of the Carabao Cup draw we've got. You think Champions League draw has been done. We're going to start seeing a lot more players play football, a lot more rotating. But as of right now, we don't need to rotate. What use have we got of rotate for Brighton? There's an international break as soon as it finishes. So, yeah, I'd be starting with that front three. Cherky, if he plays, I don't mind it. But I'd definitely start Oscar Bob. 100% start Oscar Bob. I think so far this season, the whole 2 games we've had, I think Oscar Bob's probably been my standout performer. Him or Tijani Reinders. So, yeah. That's the team I'd go with. Feel free to let me know yours or any changes you would make in the comments. And then look, that is that as far as the Brighton game. Like I said, it might seem a little bit early to some of you, and you might disagree. You're entitled to your own opinion, of course. But I do feel like even this early into the season, we're looking at games and thinking, we've got to pick up points. We've got to win this game. We can't afford to drop points again. And if we lose, and we're already 6 points off Arsenal, and then we've got to play them in a few weeks, then we really can't afford to lose to them. Do you know what I'm saying? There's stuff like this. It starts, even though it's so early into the season, you don't want to be getting to October time and we're 9 points away from someone. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think City, this is a really important game, especially after that Spurs game. And yeah, I want to see us throw the kitchen sink at Brighton. You know what I'm saying? I want to see us throw it all at them. It's our last thing to do before the international break. As I said at the start of this video, international breaks, they drag as it is. They drag a hell of a lot more after a bad result. So City need a good one. I'm going to go with a score prediction of City 3, Brighton 1. I think we will concede. I think we will. But I think we've got a lot of attacking strength. And Brighton, to be fair, in their games, I think they've looked a little bit vulnerable at the back at times. So I think we can definitely get at them. Now, just to end the video, like I mentioned at the start, the Champions League draw took place a couple hours ago. And I wanted to speak on it in this video ever so briefly. Not that it's got much to do with this game. It's got nothing to do with this game, in fact. But I'm happy with the draw. There's a lot to be excited about this Champions League draw. There's no point me making it an entire video on here when there's not even that much to say. I made videos on TikTok about it, but I just want to spend a couple of minutes on here mentioning it as well. It's worth a mention. It's just happened. It's still in my brain. I'm happy with it. I really am. We had that inevitable draw of Real Madrid out of pot 1. They were the one team, and PSG to be fair, because we played them last year, but I was like, don't give us Real Madrid. We will play them again at some point this year, 100%. Maybe not 2025, but this season, I meant. We will play them, whether it's quarterfinals, semi-finals, even a final. I don't know. We'll end up playing Madrid. We always do. It's 5 consecutive seasons now we've played them. It's getting a bit ridiculous. In the groups, I ask you. Come on. But Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, Borussia Dortmund at home. That's an exciting one. The other home games, Bayer Leverkusen, we welcome back Claudio Echeverri. He's able to play. I was a little bit unsure at first. I thought, of course, we've loaned him out. And if that was a Premier League tie, then we won't be playing Leverkusen, would we? But if that was in the Premier League, like, for example, Jack Grealish, he can't play against us. Echeverri, because it's in European football, he's not exactly cup tied to anyone. He's not part of our squad, is he? So we'll be seeing him. Hopefully he starts. We'll also be playing Bodo Glimt away. We've got Monaco away. Paul Pogba's Monaco. So let's see how he gets on this season. There is Galatasaray coming to the Etihad Stadium. Leroy Sané now plays there. It will be another return to the Etihad for Leroy Sané. And to be fair, with Galatasaray, you think of Akanji's links, Ilkay Gundogan's links, Ederson's links. By the time the fixtures haven't been dated yet. They'll be dated the day before, Saturday I think it'll be. So tomorrow when you see this, Ederson could even be playing for them. There could be multiple current City players right now wearing a Galatasaray shirt playing at the Etihad, as mad as it sounds. So, yeah, Galatasaray, the one that sticks out for me, is Villarreal as well, away. but the one that sticks out for me, the one I wanted. I know there's a lot of fans that were like, I don't want it to happen. You know, I don't want to see it. I don't, you know what I mean? I can't handle it. It'll be emotional, and of course it will. But I love it. I'm excited by it. It's what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted, in fact. Kevin De Bruyne, the king, Kevin De Bruyne, will be returning to the Etihad Stadium this season. We have drawn Napoli at the Etihad, and I can't wait for it. A king's welcome home. I hope this banner's out for Kevin. I know it sounds a bit daft, doesn't it? Because he won't be playing for City at the time, but I can't wait for it. You know, you get club legends returning home. You know, some of them as players, some of them as managers. I remember Vincent Kompany when we played Bayern Munich in the treble-winning season quarter-finals, and to be fair, when he was at Burnley. You know, his welcoming home to the Etihad, the great reception he got. Leroy Sané, of course, got a good reception. David Silva didn't get to play back at the Etihad. Aguero didn't get to play back at the Etihad, but Kevin De Bruyne will be. And that excites me. I can't wait to see him back at the Etihad Stadium, back in Manchester, back where he belongs. Okay, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful sight. And look, yeah, that is where I'm going to leave this video. I did want to have a little chit-chat about the Champions League because I'm excited by it. So, yeah, the fixtures get announced for them, like I said, on Saturday. Huddersfield in the Carabao Cup. Again, happy with that draw, not too far as well. So, look, as long as I can get tickets for that, then I will be there. And, look, I won't be there for Brighton. There'll be no matchday vlog for that, unless you want a matchday vlog of me sat at Grandma's going mad at the TV. I'm not doing that, by the way, but... yeah, no matchday vlog for that. But, of course, after the game, the day after, Monday, the match reaction to this game. Fingers crossed it's a happy one. Fingers crossed I'm smiling and happy and singing and dancing in it. Because it isn't good coming on here. I know there's a lot of people that don't do social media. I mean, of course, this is a hobby. This is far from a job for me. I don't get paid for this. But I do this because I love talking about City. I do this because I love doing this. Simple as that. You know what I mean? I love it because I love it. But I enjoy doing it. I get pleasure doing it. And people might look at it and go, oh, I bet so-and-so loves it when their team loses because they'll get more views. And I probably would get more views going mad at a camera if City got beat by Brighton. But I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy feeling down talking about City. I enjoy being excited. Being excited before games. Being buzzing after games. I'd much rather that. I would much rather be here smiling. Forget getting other viewers from other clubs and just wanting to laugh at me. I'm not bothered about that. Let's sing and sing and sing about City's praises. So yeah, fingers crossed that's what I'll be doing on Monday. Let me know your feelings, your thoughts, your predictions ahead of this game on Sunday, 2 o'clock at the Amex. Manchester City will be going away to Brighton. Bring back them 3 points, Blues. Let's beat these Seagulls. Thank you for watching. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, come on, City!